my 53 power level of Drukhari. It is led by Succubus. Her combat drug is number 2, which gives her +1 strength. Behind her, I have 1 Venom, and then 2 units of Hellions. They both have the combat drugs, which give them +1 toughness. Back here, 9 Blood Brides. The leader has an Agonizer, and then one of the Blood Brides has the Razor Flail Gauntlets. Their combat drug gives them +2 leadership. Over on the left, 2 units of 3 Bikers each. I gave them the Heat Lances and the Caltrip Grenades. Both of them have +2 movement. And on the right, 2 more units of Bikers. These have the Blasters. One is +1 attack, and the other one is +1 weapon skill. So, that is my 53 power level of Drukhari.
Alright, my name's Jake. I'm here playing Michael. I'm proud to come here to Warhammer Games and play out a game here.
Yay.
I apologize that my army is not completely WYSIWYG nor entirely painted, but I'm in a slump right now. And I don't have all the models I want because I don't like some of the new stuff. Anyway, I'll start with my HQ choices. The first thing you see there on the right hand side is I have a Primaris Psyker, and he is with just his Native Force staff and Law's pistol. To the left of him, you have my Tempester. I know he looks like a Commissar, but he is actually scratch that. He is a Commissar, and he has a plasma pistol and a chainsword. So he'd be an elite choice. To the left of him is my company commander, and he has a plasma pistol and a power sword. And as you scroll over, we're getting into my troop choices. The first thing you see there's my Tempester Commissar, and he has a Power Fist and a Tempester Command Rod. And then the first troop choice you see there with him is a 5-man Tempesta Scion Squad, and the sergeant has a Power Fist and Hell Pistol, and then he has 2 plasma guns and then 2 Hell Rifle guys with him. And as you scroll over, you see a 5 infantry squads. Squads 1, 2, and 3. The sergeants have chainswords and Law's pistols. 2 squads have flamers. 1 squad has a grenade launcher. All 3 squads have Voxcasters, and all 3 squads have heavy bolters. The other 2 squads, both sergeants have plasma pistols and chainswords. 1 squad has a melt-a-gun, and 1 squad has a plasma gun. They both have Voxcasters, and these guys are accompanied by missile launcher teams. And then to round out my troops choices, because this is a brigade with 9 command points, I have 20 conscripts. We move over here to elites. I have a Vindicare Assassin. I have an Astropath, and I have another Astropath that you guys may recognize holding some important stuff from the 4th generation box, but he's an Astropath. Not a downed Imperial pilot that got shot out of his shuttle. Then we move into fast attack choices. This is where it gets non-WYSIWYG some more. I have the Hellhound with the Inferno Cannon, Hunter Killer Missile. Instead of the heavy bolter on the hull, he has a heavy flamer. Then I have 2 Scout Sentinels. Both Scout Sentinels have the Scout Sentinel Chainsaw. They're not modeled on there, but they're there. And they each have Hunter Killer Missiles, same thing. And then one is the missile launcher configuration, and one is the Law's Cannon configuration. Then on to my heavy support choices. I have a Law's Cannon team, an auto cannon team, and a missile launcher team. And these guys are going to hold off the pointy-eared elves today.
So all in all, that's a brigade, which gives you 12 command points.
12 command points, yes.
It's a lot of stuff. Well, let's get started.
All right.
For today's game, we're playing 55 power level and using the open war deck. for the open war deck, we went ahead and drew Dawn of War Deployment. The mission is going to be Burn and Pillage. That is, each side gets 3 objectives. If at the end of your turn you hold an enemy objective, you destroy it, and the first player to destroy all 3 of the enemy's objectives wins the game. For the twist card, it was double or nothing. I rolled a 1, so that means no twist for this game. As I have 2 less power level than Jake does, I have a ruse card, which we will reveal at the end of the deployment phase. Alright, so this is the deployment for the mission. We're going to start off by letting you know that Jake has rolled a 6 to seize the initiative.
No command points used for this roll.
Yep, none at
Lucky
all.
orange dice.
Okay, so my ruse card was outflank, and I used that to take my witches off the board. They will be outflanking at the end of the first or second movement phase, anywhere more than 9 inches from Jake's units and 9 inches next to a battlefield edge. So they were standing out in the open for a reason. That was the ruse. Hopefully we got it. Anyways, deployment. My succubus, her warlord trait is +1 attack on the charge, is in the Venom behind this rune in the middle, along with one of the bikes squads. And then over on the right, I have a second bike squad. And the third set of my deployment is I have all 20 Hellions over here. That's 2 units, 10 each, and 2 more bike squads. Now my objectives are up here, making use of my fly keyword. So I got 2 up on the ruins, and the third one protected back here by the bikes for my 3. Now Jake is going to go ahead and move his scout sentinels forward, I believe 9 inches. We'll take a look at his objectives while we're doing that. So his first objective,
It's right here.
right over there. Yep.
Buried with the conscripts, the commissar, and an astropath with Emperor's Gaze, I believe it's called.
Gaze of the Emperor.
Gaze of the Emperor.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are back here in this little, what you do with typical guard, get them socked into a building for defense. There's 2 objectives, one on either end of the building, tucked in on line of sight. And then the Primaris Psyker over here, he has Gaze of the Emperor, and he also has the Terrifying Visions as well.
That's a good one.
And then this guy over here, the third astropath, the second astropath, he has the Psychic Barrier.
+1 to his save, so that's also a good one. It should be mentioned that I'm using the Outrider detachment, which gives me 4 command points, which I show over here. Jake, of course, has his 12 because he's running the brigade formation. So he's going to go ahead and move up his scouts. Looks like he's making sure I can't outflank over on his left. Very clever. And then the second scout, which is by the church right now. We'll see where he goes. He's moving straight forward, it looks like. All right, with that, Astra Militarum have turn 1. Excuse you, Piper. So we'll be back.
All right, Jake here again with Phase 1 Movement Imperial Guard. Not too much we have going on. Scout Sentinel moved out at Scout move, 9 inches. I didn't want to move him any more forward because I gotta watch out for those deep strike guys in the back, but I also gave him some line of sight for those guys in the back there. You can barely see the edge of the other guy back there. Nobody moved within the building. I had the Hellhound move forward. I had the conscripts move forward. The other Scout Sentinel with the Las Cannon, I had him scout forward and get here behind the Sky Shield landing pad. I shuffled around some of this infantry squad right here. The heavy bolters stayed still. Over here, I had no movement.
All right, so we'll be back after the psychic phase.
Okay, after the psychic phase, my Primaris Psyker, located in this ruin you see here on the right-hand side, he cast Psychic Barrier on the Las Cannon team, which gives them +1 to their saving throw. And I burned 1 command point, so I'm down to 11 from 12.
We're getting there.
All right, end of turn 1 shooting phase for the Imperial Guard. The Scout Sentinel over here shot his missile launcher at the jet bikes back here to no effect. He also used his 100 killer missile to no effect. The company commander gave orders to this missile launcher squad and this autocannon squad, who both shot at the Hellions over here, and they nicked off quite a few. Then these two squads right here, missile launchers, also shot. I can't remember if they killed any or not. Coming down here, the Hellhound, he expended his HKM missile, shooting at those jet bikes over there, to no effect. Right here, the Scout Sentinel shot his Las cannon. Did I shoot his 100 kilo missile?
You did not shoot his 100 kilo
Yeah, just his Las cannon at the Hellions, I believe killing one.
Yeah, with 6 wounds.
Then the heavy bolter down here shot at them as well, did nothing. The 3 Las cannons from this team right here shot over, and I think they killed 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then this heavy bolter shot as well with a high angle there on his traversing pencil mount and shot and killed nothing.
So at the end, I lost 8 Hellions, which is a pretty big price to pay, but it could have been worse for the first turn. So now, Jake, next is the assault phase. Do you plan to assault anything?
The Emperor's enemy is not within his grasp at this time, so the Emperor will hold in place and drink water and wait to die for the Emperor.
Okay, so that brings us to the morale phase. I will be spending 2 command points over here on my left to keep my Hellions on the board. I can't have his Scions deep strike in and take my objective, so I am down to 2 command points. Jake?
Don't forget, I expended 2 command points myself, trying to give my autocannons another wound. It did not work. And I also used another one in the psychic phase, and it worked, giving the Las Cannon team the psychic shield.
Yep, so Jake has a very few, 10 remaining, I got 2. So, Dark Eldar, turn 1 coming up. Drukhari. Okay, on Drukhari turn 1, the first thing I did was move that second Hellion of the 2 remaining up to the top to make sure that Jake can't drop his Scions in to those 2 objectives and destroy them, while the other 10 remained at the bottom floor of the ruins. The bikes that were in there advanced to the right and are hiding behind this set of ruins, while the bikes that were in the ruins moved to the right to this set of ruins, making sure that I had some room after I advanced the what's the name of this little doohickey? I just had it. It's not a Raider, Viking. No, it's not Viper.
I don't know. I barely know my stuff, man.
Well, advance, and so now the Venom is hiding behind those ruins, while the bike squad that was behind here, made use of his combat drug. Extra 2 inches are now in heat lance range for that scout, maybe clearing the way for something else later. So, with that, Jake, you had something to say?
Well, yeah, I appreciate the fact that some of your pointy-eared dark bad elves know that to escape she who thirsts is to get into combat and kill things, unlike everybody else that's just hiding in the back.
We're letting the power from pain build up, and right now the pain's been all on my side, but it's still pain, and we're still enjoying it. So we're going to let that build and see what this heat lance can do to that scout.
That's all you're shooting?
Yep, the Dark Eldar have struck back in their shooting phase, firing their poison shots to no effect against Jake's Scout Sentinel, but the heat lance hit, it wounded, and then did 1 point of damage to it, so it's down to 4 wounds remaining. We're now on to Imperial Guard, turn 2.
Alright, turn 2, movement phase for the Imperial Guard. A little lackluster here. Normally, this pilot right here would charge bravely forward for the Emperor to use his Sentinel chainsaw and those jet bikes back there. But he's thinking about those deep striker guys back there, keeping that 9-inch buffer away from his guys he got in here. And he's got some awesome missile launchers to shoot at them, so he's going to stay put. These guys, they all stay put. Conscripts doing their thing for the Emperor, charging forward with their Commissar and Astropath at the back. Who knows? Are they running forwards to kill the enemy because the Commissar's lash whip, or are they like scared of the Astropath because he's a mutant freak? Who knows? We'll find out at the end of the battle. Everything else stayed put. The little guardsmen here scuffled around a little bit, tense, knowing that these guys can appear from anywhere and just cut them to pieces. But they're standing firm right now for the Emperor with their sergeants. And these guys back here, they just stayed put as well. That's all I have right now.
All right, on to the psychic phase.
All right, the astropath back here in what I like to call the building bunker, you could say, the 3 stories of doom. The astropath here decided to cast Psychic Shield on the missile launchers on top. We see that venom in the back. And, you know, if it pops up on that building, he's within range, and I like to protect that unit a little bit more.
I am cursing that flag back there. We probably should take that down.
I will not shoot at that flag as a counting thing because the GW 40k rule says that extraterrestrial things aren't really the vehicle.
That's 7th edition, buddy, but if you don't want to shoot it, I'm good with it.
Maybe I'll be a gentleman, but maybe I'll do it now because you're letting me.
All right, back with the shooting phase.
All right, we'll start back here with the shooting phase. We got the Scout Sentinel pilot back here. Quick with his nerves and quick on the trigger. He was able to get off 2 wounds with his frag missile on those bikes back there, but they were able to duck, dodge, and dive. He must have been throwing a wrench instead of missiles and caused no wounds. All right, then we come up here. The company commander again gave orders to his missile launchers and his autocannons. The missile launchers had 9 hits, only causing 1 unsaved wound on the jet bikes in the back there.
Yeah, the jet bikes were helped out being covered with that 3-up save.
Yeah. Autocannons did the same thing, causing 1 wound and killing off that 1 biker out of that 3-man team. Over here, the man of the hour, the Vindicator Assassin, he struck and hit the Venom in the back, knowing that the leader's back there and he's got to take that out. That's his only mission on the battlefield, causing 3 wounds, rolling a 6 for D3 wounds on the Venom in the back.
He shot the heck out of that flag.
Shot the heck out of that flag. That's what this missile launcher guy down here, he got 1 hit, but those slippery little pointy people just were able to duck, dodge, and dive onto that one as well. This missile launcher team over here was unable to hit the Hellions in the back. The Stormbolter from the Chimera was unable to do damage as well to the bikers. The Scout Sentinel here, not an armored Sentinel, shot his HK missile and his Laz cannon, and it caused 0 wounds with his 2 hits to those guys in the back, the Hellions. The Heavy Bolter shot again. He hit 2 hits on the Hellions to no effect. And then the Laz cannon team, these guys, I don't think they did anything as well either.
They killed 1.
They killed 1. Yeah. And the Heavy Bolter team back here did nothing as well. And they only scored 1 hit. May the Emperor protect, and let's roll into the these pointy-eared savages turn 2.
Couple things. The missile launcher back here, that shot did use a command point to try to reroll against the Venom.
That was that blue dice here that I totally forgot. I mismarked it marked it differently than the other ones to remember that, but I did not. So I'm down to 9 command points.
So missing twice. And then my morale phase, I lost 1 unit over there with the bikers and 1 with the Hellions, so neither one can fail their morale test. We'll go straight to Drukhari turn 2. Power from Pain this round is going to be reroll advance and assaults. Alright, Drukhari, turn 2 movement phase. As you can see, all my bikes have popped out and converged in order to take care of that flame-throwing monstrosity known as a Hellhound.
Hellhound.
And they're being supported,
and heavy flamer.
supported by this Venom here, which might not last. And then my last guy up there has popped down. Jake still can't drop into here because he has to be more than 9 inches away. Those guys on the first floor, those Hellions, I'm going to prevent that from happening. And lastly, at the end of my movement phase, I'm going to drop my witches right here behind this building. So that'll be the Drukhari end of turn 2 movement. So we'll be back for shooting. So Drukhari turn 2 shooting. There are the witches that I talked about coming in on Jake's right flank. As far as the shooting over here, combination of some mediocre rolls and some good rolls by Jake means that between the 2 heat lances, the 2 blasters, I managed to do a total of 3 wounds on Jake's Hellhound. Unfortunately, couldn't wound with the heat lance, and then was a blaster that took all 3 wounds off of it.
But you do bring me down to lower stat damage.
Not at 8, I don't think.
Yes, you do. At 8, my ballistic skill goes to 5 up, and my attacks, if it was in combat, was a D3 instead of 3. So you have reduced me some, You haven't affected my you affected my ballistic skill, and you affected my movement.
That's surprising. And then the venom shot at the autocannon squad.
Oh, wait, I was wrong. I was reading the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, we should hold on
I'm
to
still
it.
healthy. I wanted to give you a little bit of hope, but you're probably going to charge me and kill me anyway.
I'm going to charge you, but I won't kill you. The venom shot up here to the autocannons. Ended up wounding him 4 times. He made 3 saves and then used a command point to reroll. Made a 4th save, so no damage there. So all in all, pretty ineffectual. We'll see what we can do on the charges. Okay, successful Drukhari turn 2 assault phase. I started the assault phase by attacking with the bike unit who was farthest away, knowing that I could reroll their charge distance because of power from pain. That prevented Jake from firing his heavy flamer. He did fire his Inferno flamer, managing to kill 1 bike, which you see on the green right there in Overwatch. He also hit me twice with the Stormbolter, but failed to wound, rolling 3s for the wounds. So after that, everyone charged in. I managed to do 1 mortal wound with the grav amp, and then altogether, those 3 bike squads did a total of 6 wounds, I believe, Jake. Yep, 6 wounds. Thanks to the blade veins being -1. Obviously, this squad back here failed to make their charge distance. That was the only one out. Unfortunately, I couldn't box him in, but overall, I really put a hurt in on that vehicle, so I feel pretty good about that. But now we go to guard turn 3.
All right, it's turn 3, movement phase for Imperial Guard. The Sentinel feeling his the Emperor swelling inside of him, charges forward, getting ready to get that Sentinel chainsword into those jet bikes right there. Over here, in the scrum in the middle, by moving the faithful conscripts out of position, I was able to disengage my Chimera more than 1 inch away from the jet bike, the Hellhound, correction. Want to redo that over again?
No, that's good.
Okay, it's good. It all works. It's happy here. It's a happy place. Lots of conscripts, lots of things they need to fight. Commissar, forward. So as I say, the conscripts moved, the Commissar moved, the Astropath moved. This infantry squad right here moved. Look at that nice little flamer right there. Oh yeah. The heavy bolter did not move because they're smart and they have a heavy gun. They're like, no way, bro. Not picking that stuff up. We got the distance, man. We're staying back, bro. These guys right here, oh, we're chill. We know some nasty things popped in the back over there somehow. We got to prep for them advancing over. These guys over here, it was like protect the Astropath. Why are we protecting this mutant back here? But we had to hide him, so when he charges, maybe, just maybe, if he kills off that squad right there, they can't auto charge into the Psyker. Maybe, we'll see what happens. And the Scout Sentinel right here, the other Scout Sentinel pilot, he's like feeling it. He's like, I got a Laws cannon, and I got their boss right there. Look at that, underneath the Sky Shield landing pad, sees right through. She's mine. And then we have our brave Kasserkin stormtroopers in the back with their Kasserkin Prime leader with his power fist and Tempestus command rod. Too bad I can only give 2 orders to that 1 squad. Anyway, let's see what they can do as they line up on the objective of the enemy and on the enemy warlord itself.
Jake's ready to start shooting, but first we're going to go to the psychic phase, so we'll be right back. Alright, Jake, tell us about your psychic shenanigans.
Alright, my psychic phase. We have this Astropath back here with his little gene seed box. And he, again, successfully put the psychic barrier on the missile launchers up top. And then over here, our other Astropath was able to smite away one of these jet bikes up front and kill him with 2 wounds.
Actually did 3 wounds, made an error, power from pain roll, feel no pain, so I did at least negate 1 of those.
But he died.
Yeah,
That's all that matters. For the Emperor, he died.
Onto the shooting phase. Maybe something else will die. We'll see.
Yeah, she who thirst calls. As you can see, the brave Kasserkin stormtroopers jumped in behind enemy lines with an objective. And they took the last 3 wounds off the Viper. Venom, whatever, because of the V. And exposing the woman that leads this ragtag army of rabble. Allowing the Vindicare assassin to just plink her, just like using Grandma's 22 back home to shoot groundhogs. It was that easy. But, slippery little devil as she was able to use some trickery to do some, I don't know, Eleanor Shimmer Shake stuff and delete one of my no invul save wound thingies. I don't freaking know. They're crazy.
I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6.
And
I think it
you
was
were the
cheating.
No.
I saw Simon blowing his hand for good luck. I don't know what that means. Anyway, then we step over here to our ruthless scout sentinel just charged forward. But I can't remember what he did.
He had
killed
4
some
shots,
guys.
hitting on
Yeah.
5s and hit 4 times.
And that's
wounded
Mike.
4 times.
And that's Michael remembering everything.
Yeah.
Up here, never ever pose your heavy weapon guys in the kneeling position and put them behind cover that they can't see over. Which is exactly what happened with this missile launcher squad. So I only got 1 shot off, but I think they clipped one of the bikes and killed one, didn't they?
Well, all in all, I know that we killed 6 bikes, so it was a combined effort.
The captain down here gave orders to the autocannon squad, and they effectively dished out some hate, as well as to this squad here in the back, and the plasma gunner and the missile launcher guy. Mediocre, didn't do anything. Then we just roll on over here, bunch of dead people. Commissar's like, I'm going to overcharge my plasma pistol and take these freaks out. Nope, blows up, dies in his face. And the conscripts are like, oh my gosh, shaking in their boots because the enemy before them. Hopefully the big sarge in the back from the other squad will bolster their resolve in the coming battle. The flamethrower guy was able to take out one of the bikers here, or the last 2, right?
Yeah, last 2.
Little flamethrower guy right there at that squad took out the last 2. The heavy bolter was mediocre, didn't do anything. Then we're going to roll on over here. These guys just held their ground like they should. The sentinel over there was able to shoot through. Couldn't shoot at the Viper or Venom or whatever it was because it was already gone because of the awesome Casterkin shooting. But he was able to kill some jet bikers over there on the other side.
Killed
Over
one.
here, these Laws Cannon guys, again using that traversing of their pintle mount and their tripod, were able to shoot the squad back here, dealing out some death with all 3 Laws Cannons, which did some awesome stuff. And that brings us to the mighty assault phase, coming up next.
Okay, but quick recap. Oh yeah, there's an assault phase, so we're not in morale yet. So, assault phase next. Here we go.
Right, so as you can see, the conscripts charged forward. The cowardly sergeant in the back urged them on because the commissar wasn't there, but he neglected to follow in with his squad, whatever. He's like, I'm preserving life. These guys can die for me. It's much like throwing a dude on a hand grenade so you can get a Medal of Honor. Anyway, they charged in, they took off 1 wound, and then 5 of them died for the Emperor. And I used a command point to try to reroll wound, but that didn't happen either, so I'm down to 6 command points.
Okay, so in the morale phase, Jake, you gotta take morale on your conscripts. I lost most of my units, so
Can
no
I fail morale?
here. Sure, because I think their leadership is 5. So you can use 2 points to not take a morale test.
2 command points?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, 10 of them.
Otherwise, you're gonna lose D6 guys.
I need to roll 1, right?
Well, you'll lose 1 if you roll a 1. And you'll lose 3 with that 3. All right. Drukhari, turn 4 movement. Should start by saying that Jake managed to destroy this objective back here, but we will have our revenge as our succubus has moved up, and the Hellions have finally moved out, seen a nice juicy target. 1 Hellion remains back here as the sole survivor from that squad. He's not anxious to do anything. Over on the left, my Blood Brides have moved up. They see a nice charge right there. And lastly, over here on my right flank, I moved and advanced with these bikes. So I got 3 of them surrounding that objective back there to Jake's 1 unit. So I will be destroying that at the end of my turn. Unfortunately, I can't charge, having flown out of combat, but I can shoot with at least the blaster, as it's an assault weapon. It'll be at -1. So, on to the shooting phase. Alright, in the Drukhari turn 4 shooting phase, failed to hit with my blaster on his company commander. Rolled a 1, but that's okay. Over here, the Hellions did a pretty good job taking out 3 of Jake's Scions. He did try
Casterkin Stormtroopers.
Casterkin Stormtroopers with Hellguns. He did try to reroll 1 save with command point, but failed. So we'll see.
No,
if
I did not. He did.
Oh, he did not. He chose not
not.
to. Sorry.
Take down my command points. Look at that.
And then lastly, I killed one guy over here with the Dark Light Grenade. Blaster missed, Blast Pistol missed, and so Jake saved one for the Splinter Pistol. So
He jumped on the grenade that was going to take out the Heavy Bolter team.
let's see if they can jump out of the way of the Blood Bride's knives. Coming up next.
Awarded his dead body an Imperialis Award for bravery.
His family will be very happy. Here we go.
His
Assault.
family's already dead.
So, in the Dark Eldar combat turn 4, the Succubus charged into the Kasrkin Tempestus Prime Scion, managing to do 3 wounds, so he has 1 remaining. He did interrupt for 2 command points and landed 1 great blow on the Succubus, but she made her 4-up invul save, so she's okay. That combat will continue. The
Until the
Hellion
next
Squad.
assault phase, when she dies,
Yeah, we'll see.
crushed in the grips of the Emperor's might, last gasping breath.
Those Hellions managed to kill the other Kasrkins, so-called Kasrkins.
They are Kasrkins.
So they are now
Imperial
dead.
Guard and Kasrkins
But-
and Hellguns.
But they've done their job. Over here on the left, the Blood Brides managed to kill 8 more in assault, in addition to the one that was killed in the shooting phase. That meant the heavy weapons team just decided to bolt. We did manage to scoot her around on the left in order to engage those Alaskan teams. So they're in a bit of a pickle next as we start to roll up the Imperial Guard's flank. And then over here on Jake's left flank, obviously no assault because they flew out of combat, but we do manage to destroy that objective. So we're at 1 objective to 1 objective. On to Imperial Guard, turn 5.
Left movement, nothing moved over here. Conscripts, moving a nice little circle back. They're holding hands, singing Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posies, or Duck Duck Goose, whichever you prefer.
Jake,
These guys
the
over here,
objectives are over there.
I know, and I can't get to them with
Oh,
ever many
okay.
turns. You know this. It's like,
Okay.
as always, Mike manages to beat me or tie the game through trickery.
Eldar trickery.
Yeah,
Eldar trickery.
yeah, whatever.
All right, rest of your movement.
Rest of the movement, these 2 squads moved forward for the Emperor, and then I failed to disengage with my Laws Can, so I can't shoot these
Oh yeah.
people down like they should die. And the
These-
Primaris Psychic moved back because he's going to smite them.
These Blood
Do
Brides
something.
rolled a 6. Ain't no one going nowhere. All right, second phase coming up
Alright,
next.
here we go with the Primaris Psyker, casting down the Almighty Smite, taking away 3 of these ladies over here. Then you come back here to the Astropath, rolling 1d6 to our correction that you're not going to see on film anymore. And he was still able to take out 2.
Yeah, Jake tried to cheat by rolling 2d6.
I didn't try to cheat. I don't know the rules as good as Michael because I don't have enough time to just memorize rules and play games all day. My kids are younger, not out of the house like his.
She's 8. And that Corgi Butt's 3. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, he picks up their poop, by the way. Ha! Anyway, over here, this Psyker was able to kill one of these guys over here.
Use a command point for a reroll.
I used the command point for reroll because why not?
All right, on to the shooting
Alright,
phase.
shooting phase back here. We're able to deal out some death with the plasma guns from the 2 sergeants and the melta gun. And those guys are dead.
Nice.
So over here, the infantry squad over here charged in after the sergeant took a shot with his Lost pistol and did nothing. The Primaris Psyker also shot as well, and he charged in. He was able to kill, I believe, 3?
2 additional witches.
2 additional
Wait,
witches?
3, you're right.
Or 3, and the squad killed none out of the 4 guys that could attack.
That's right.
But over here,
Well, before we leave over here, the witches did get to attack back and kill the Primaris Psyker.
I said it was dead, Mike.
Yeah,
I said it was
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
But over here, the warlord of this band is right now paying her dues to she who thirsts. The Kasrkin Prime, knowing it was his duty to kill the enemy warlord, stood valiantly and smashed her in the face with his power fist before giving his life for the Emperor.
It was pretty good.
As tiny violin played in his passing.
As the 10 Hellions just destroyed him. All right, Drukhari turn 5. We're going to probably make this a quick turn. Pretty brutal turn 5 phase for the Eldar. They ended up assaulting over here. They were still in assault. They ended up killing 2 guys, including the heavy bolter. Jake passed morale there. In the center, my Hellions moved up. They managed to shoot one of the autocannons dead and one is wounded before charging into the conscript squad, which was right here. Jake killed 2 of them in Overwatch. Rather impressive display of
They
firepower.
don't even need their commissar.
They don't. But they kind of did need their commissar because after we slaughtered a total of 6 of them in the combat phase, he ended up losing an additional 3 to the morale phase. So there's just 3 conscripts left. And they'll probably try to get out of combat at this point, and they'll probably do that. But we got to see if we're going to turn 6. So that is my roll. On a 1 or 2, the game is over. That's a 2, so the game's over. So we're going to call it here, and it's a 1-1 draw. Jake, good game, sir.
Good game.
It was a lot of fun. All right, hope you enjoyed the battle report, and we'll come back to you with another battle report soon. Bye-bye. And she always gets on the couch. All right, well, welcome back. We're doing a post-game wrap-up with Jake here. First time on the channel. Pretty impressive showing with his Imperial Guard. Also first time on the channel for my Drukhari. First thing I'd like to say is obviously my Drukhari list is not complete. It will be an all-Witch Cult army, but right now without any Dark Lances, GW's having some production problems or the reboxing of the Drukhari, so I haven't been able to get any Raiders or, what's the name of the flyers?
Void Ravens.
Yeah, Void Ravens. I thought that was the bomber. Anyways, I need to get some Dark Lances, clearly, because while the bikes can do some things, they're really streaky, as you saw, and only doing 3 points to Jake's Hellhound and then doing 1 point to the Sentinel. Wounding on 5s with the Heat Lances is just really tough. But Jake, your thoughts on the game?
I mean, what can I say? Eldar trickery. You saw the destruction out there. But overall, love the game. I enjoy playing Mike. Thought it was very good. I really enjoy the new edition of 40k. I like how it plays much faster than the previous edition. I just have an overall great time playing, and it was very enjoyable as always. And that's the most important thing about gaming out there, is all you all know is having a good time with your buddies, sitting back and playing some awesome games and eating some fancy burgers cooked by somebody else.
Yeah, hopefully that comes across on the channel too. We do really have a good time playing these games, and we talk a lot before and a lot after and a lot during. You don't get to see all of that because I like to keep these relatively short for you guys, but lots and lots of fun to be had. So as far as the actual game, I think it started to turn when Jake stole the initiative.
We had some talks about this over our burgers, and stealing the initiative is awesome. He didn't give me an awesome power level, so I'm going to do it now.
Power level 9,000!
That's for you out there, Tabletop Wargaming, if you're watching this.
Unlikely, but maybe.
Unlikely, but maybe. Hopefully you are. We're cool dudes, just like you. We're just in Germany, not in England.
Yeah.
And, it's just great stuff. Stealing initiative is always good. I think I was able to advance some pieces that I like to move forward, to kind of give him something to have to go after, to come after me before he got to my backfield.
Yeah, and so that first
good.
turn, losing 8 Hellions definitely hurt. I had planned to move 1 Hellion unit up behind the trees in order to start putting some pressure on Jake's right flank. Obviously couldn't do that. They had to hold fast where they were in order to keep those pesky stormtroopers from dropping in and taking those 2 objectives.
Castrican stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I slapped myself for calling them Tempestus Scions, but I read off the paperwork and I read it out at the beginning, but I quickly corrected myself, as you all saw, for those of you that don't like guys wearing plate armor that's cumbersome and can't move like the new models are.
Well, I will say it's no longer 2008, but you keep going with that.
I'm going to. Hell guns for all.
So losing those 8 guys definitely hurt. And then the second thing that hurt was when I did move all my bikes in order to swarm Jake's Hellhound, not being able to kill it. Even though the game ended on turn 5, if it would have gone on, that Hellhound was just waiting to bake those Hellions.
I think that if the game would have gone on, I would have been able to disengage my guys, because I had that little corridor to sneak them out. I think I maybe have gotten them 1 inch away from all your dudes, possibly.
Yeah, you would have.
I think I would have moved my Psyker over some to smite you with that, and I would have just unloaded and toasted those guys.
Yeah, can we talk about the Psychers for a second? You complain about Eldar trickery. What was with all the psychic powers just wiping out my witches and everything else?
The Imperium of Mankind knows when to use mutant freaks at the right time, at the right place, bro. and I brought them along for that reason.
Oh, they were very, very effective.
Yeah.
Glad we did figure out. In case you at home haven't seen it yet, just remember that when those astropaths cast smite, and it's only smite for some reason.
Yeah.
It's on 1d6.
1d6,
And
but every
both
other
your guys
one.
got it off.
But every other time they cast a psychic power, it's still 2d6. The Primaris is always 2d6.
Yeah, and the Weird Vein Psyker Squad is 1d6 for all their powers, but they get the bonus for as many Psychers as they have in the list.
And that Primaris Psyker charged into combat, even though he died, he's still a pretty formidable dude.
Oh, yeah.
Wiping out lightly skinned armored people.
Yeah, and D3
Worked out
wounds
pretty
from that staff
Oh,
is darn good. So
You don't have to activate that force like you had to in the past.
No, I agree. He is pretty beefy. He died though, didn't he?
He died, but as all mutant
died.
freaks should, they should die after they come to their usefulness.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to add to the game?
I mean, it's just like I said before, folks. Great game overall. I'll always be happy to come to Ward Corgi Gaming. I'll have to say my unit of the game is those Casterkin Stormtroopers and that Casterkin Prime deep striking in. They were able to tie the game at the end by taking out that objective, smacking around that warlord and Senator She Who Thirsts was always a good feeling. You know, and dying after that was a pretty good thing.
All right. I don't really have a unit of the game, to be honest, but I did have a lot of fun. And if you enjoyed the game, go ahead and like and subscribe. If we get enough likes, we might have Jake back. So if you enjoyed having him on the channel, please go ahead and like, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
If not for the game footage, for my handsome good looks.
Well, we got that going for us too. All right. Talk to you guys later.